What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I just wanted to discuss something that is definitely the talk of the town right now, which is of course Anakin's strength in this game and just how overpowered he is. Now I want to make it clear straight away, I do agree that he's overpowered. That's almost just non-arguable as of right now. He's easily the best in the game and I don't think anyone can deny that at this point. But despite him being overpowered, I actually lean towards the side of not wanting him nerfed, or at least not a large nerf if we are going to get one. Now I do have a few reasons behind this opinion. One of those reasons is that I think all the other heroes should actually be slightly buffed in order to make them all a little bit more powerful, and the other reason is that despite him being unbalanced himself, he does actually bring a lot more balance to the game, especially in HVV. Before I touch on those ideas though, I guess I'll just go through what I think should be changed if he is to get a nerf in the next update. Again, I'm perfectly fine with how he is at the moment. However, if we do get a slight nerf, then I won't be too mad as long as it is somewhat similar to what I'm about to mention. So as of right now, we all know that the Heroic Might ability is pretty much the only ability that is genuinely overpowered. The same case could be made for Retribution, but that is a fourth ability, and I do like the idea of an ultimate ability, something that isn't available very often, yet when it is available it can be extremely deadly. Make sure to keep an eye on the channel because starting soon I am going to go through each character and come up with some concepts for what a fourth ability could be if they were to ever receive one. But getting back to Anakin, aside from his Heroic Might ability, I honestly don't think he's overpowered at all. He does have a high health, high damage and a fast swing speed and all that good stuff, but to me none of that is OP, and even his other abilities aren't OP either. So for me, I think the only possible issue lies with Heroic Might. Now, if they were to nerf Anakin in the next update, I think maybe they should cap the damage of Heroic Might at, say, 400 or 500 damage, which will still melt any troopers or reinforcements, but will leave any full health heroes to survive, which I think is definitely fair, seeing as a lot of people have been complaining about just getting one hit killed after finally unlocking a villain. Now, my initial response to this was just either don't attack Anakin while it's charging, as well as either block or roll or just get out of the way, but a lot of people have also made a fair point that sometimes it is your teammate's fault and not yours, and so even though it doesn't personally bother me all that much, I do agree that getting one hit killed with no fault of your own is definitely a little overpowered, and so I think capping it at 400 or 500 damage would probably be the way to go. Other than that, maybe an increase in the cooldown time and maybe a slight nerf on the range wouldn't go astray either, but again, I think it mainly comes down to people just not playing smart against him and just attacking him when it's charging. So that's the thing, in a month from now, even without a nerf, this ability is automatically going to be nerfed by the community in a way, as people will just start to actually use their brain and not shoot at him while he's in the animation. So if he is to get a nerf, I think these are the only changes that DICE should implement. All of his base stats and other abilities are fine in my opinion, and at the end of the day he is meant to be super powerful, as are all heroes, and that does lead me onto my next point. I think that the vast majority of heroes in this game are slightly underwhelming at times, as we all know that it's not actually that hard to win a 1v1 as an assault officer against, say, Vader or Grievous. People seem to complain big time when things in this game break immersion, such as the Phase 1 and 2 skins and all that stuff, yet here we have Darth Vader getting melted in a 1v1 against some random rebel soldier bum, and in my opinion I just don't think that that should be possible. I think yes, maybe Anakin is slightly overpowered, so maybe if they brought him down a notch and then raised everyone else up to roughly the same level, it would make the game a lot more enjoyable when you are playing as a hero, especially for newer players or players who do struggle with heroes. Now I know what everyone's going to say, good players shouldn't be punished for being good at the game by making it easier for bad players, but to me that's not at all what would happen if all the characters got a slight buff. Rather than closing the skill gap and making worse players do well compared to good players, the skill gap would stay roughly the same while letting newer players or less experienced players do much better than they currently can, and in modes like HVV it wouldn't really change anything, because if all the heroes got a buff and as long as they were balanced, it wouldn't really change the current balancing at all. As for GA, yeah sure, it would definitely let some bad players kill regular troopers a little easier, and even if you are a really good player you might not be able to stop those bad players, which I know some people definitely wouldn't like, but again, going back to my initial point, they are heroes, and as far as I'm concerned, they should be all but unstoppable unless you actually make a team effort to take them out. At the end of the day, this isn't just a regular shooter like Call of Duty that requires perfect balancing. This is a Star Wars game, and let's be honest, who gives the first shit about regular rebel soldiers and stormtroopers? We all enjoy Star Wars mainly for these heroes and villains. I dare say that's why most people still enjoy this game, and I definitely know that if this game was just trooper versus trooper, I don't think I'd still be playing this long after launch. At least for me, this game is so enjoyable when you do get someone like Anakin or Vader and you can just go on a rampage. And sure, there should be consequences when you make a bad decision or you to try and take on a whole team on your own or something like that, but I think for the most part you should be able to dominate as every hero, and the way I see it, that is the point of having heroes. Otherwise they would have just kept Galactic Assault as trooper versus trooper only. So before we finish up, I guess just to reiterate, I do think Anakin should maybe get a slight nerf, but please DICE, don't nerf him into the ground and bring him down to the level of all the other heroes. Heroes are so much more enjoyable when they're extremely powerful, and I think that's why it's not as often you see Finn and Phasma running around compared to people like Maul and Rey, because they just simply aren't as enjoyable when they're not as powerful. In a perfect world, Anakin should be brought down just a notch by not being able to one-hit kill villains, and then in return every single other character should be given a decent buff, and I think this game would be in a much better place and a much more enjoyable place than it is now. So that is going to be it for this one, guys. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments, as I dare say probably 70% of you guys will probably disagree with me, which is perfectly fine. That is essentially the point of this video, is just to discuss and debate. So definitely let me know down below what you want to happen with Anakin and why, and I'll do my best to have a discussion with you guys down in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like down below to help support the channel. I am thinking of doing a lot more videos like this, just discussing certain things rather than just mainly guide videos and stuff like that. So leave a like or a dislike. It is a good way for me to gauge how much you guys like these kinds of videos. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.